not on disability, if you're not a veteran, somebody who's been hurt in the service, some of that nature, if you don't have a problem like a mental disability or something like that, he taking you out. This is just what I heard, y'all. Don't correct me if I'm wrong. I just want to know what y'all thoughts are on it, because there's some people out who actually need it. I make jokes about this all the time, but for him to say, you know, that if you 40 and under, he gonna snatch away your Section 8 in your houses, I think that shit is preposterous, and I probably don't agree with it, man, to a certain extent, because it is a lot of people out here 40 and under that's going through it, man. You know, that's just was dealt a bad hand no matter how hard they try, you know, and they just need a little push. I don't agree with people sitting on it for years, not by far. I don't agree with it. But I do want to know what y'all really think about it. If he's saying if you're 40 and under, he's snatching you out Section 8, what does this mean for society? More robberies, more killings. Trump just announced that everybody who's 40 and under, he about to strip away that Section 8. If you're not on disability, if you're not a veteran, somebody who's been hurt in the service, some of that nature, if you don't have a problem like a mental disability or something like.
Shalom. First thing and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahawah by Sham, Yahawashi, by Sham, double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone that rule well. Peace and blessings and salutations to the whole elect. Those in the gospel regardless and understanding of Yahawashi, wherever it may be. This is another lesson through the spirit. Going into Section 8, like new rules or something that they were speaking about. I remember maybe last year, maybe going back to 2024. I know, well, when Trump got inaugurated, and even prior to then, I believe you had some individuals out here that was talking about cuts to Section 8 by 2026, or maybe like 2 years. I think that was before Trump got in office, from what I can recall. But they was mentioning that 2026 was going to be different cuts and rules to these particular programs. Like when you go into Section 8, and we can look it up here real quick on Barak, just to get you some understanding here. All right, a government program that's pretty much set up for women and elderly or people that was like behind, or they had like a certain below poverty line income. Because you have what they call you meet below the poverty line, and then you know you got the middle class, which technically there's no middle class anymore, but you got those that live beyond the means of a living wage, and they get these Section 8 vouchers. And a lot of these apartment developments and complexes, especially in the urban areas where a lot of Keishas and so forth, Pookies and Ray Rays grew up, those are low-income housing, all right? A lot of Jakes I knew come from low-income housing. You know, where I grew up at, that was low-income housing, you know? Now, we wasn't too familiar with it because, you know, we were kids, but, you know, a lot of...
Alright, Shalom, Makim, this is Brother Barak. Welcome back here. Another one through the Spirit, Prophet Yahawashi Yahawashi. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory be unto Heavenly Father and His Son, Yahawah Yahawashi. Double ourselves and apostles of the great millstone, who rule in time of truth, and a sincere salutation unto the brother pushing this word through truth and sincerity in life and to do so. Alright, I'm the brother Barak. Welcome back here. Another one. This is Prophet Yahawashi Yahawashi. And through the Spirit, man, Salakia. I thought I would Slakia, a little under the weather, but thought I would do this video, man. I seen the brother going in on it, man. All right, I think it's February 17th, and Esau has been talking about another government shutdown, but this is just a repeat of last year. I believe it was November or October. They had a whole month government shutdown. It was the longest government shutdown to date. Okay, and that's what we've been trying to tell you guys, man, because Esau's gonna be making these cuts. Okay, a lot of people are gonna get ready to be in for a rude awakening, man. Okay, and the reason why I paused it on this specific part, okay, because the brother was showing you what Section 8 originally was and what it was meant for. Okay, which is kind of funny because I actually went on this topic before and I showed you guys that Esau is the majority of people on food stamps and Section 8 and all that stuff, man. Okay, it's actually Esau on all these fucking programs. Okay, and these programs are literally originally made for Esau. Okay, How do we know that? It's because when they first immigrated to America, okay, there wasn't enough so-called Edomites over here. Okay, so what did they start doing? They started importing Irish, Dutch, British, English people, okay, of Edomite descent over here, okay, and they were obviously poor. Okay, they had families of 5, 6, 7, you name it, all right. And Esau created these programs for them, okay. He created those programs for them, okay. The Section 8, okay, all that stuff. Not only that, Esau would give out loan programs, interest, or I think it was tax or interest free. Okay, the family can get started up on. I don't remember how much it was. I was actually reading about this a little while back, but yeah, man. Okay, and this is what personally, what I've been pushing a lot in my videos is that these luxuries are coming to an end, man. All right. The brothers have been giving insight on it as well, but these luxuries are gonna come to an end, man. Okay, all right, and obviously, whether you guys say, "Oh, Trump's doing it on purpose," or whatnot, it doesn't matter because it's prophecy. Okay, the Lord told us that that hammer is gonna come down. Not only is the hammer gonna come down, but in these last times, things like this would occur. Okay, all right. So I want to grab one scripture. Okay, and it's kind of funny too because nowadays it's either these women, in particular these Israelite women, or just Esau in general, Esau and his families that are on this. And Esau's the one that's committing all these frauds with Section 8 and food stamps, in particular food stamps in particular. Okay? Profiting off of side businesses and under the table things when it comes to food stamps. Okay? So it's actually kind of funny because Esau's is over here, oh, you guys are all single mothers. You know what I'm saying? He's always saying, well, we're on government assistance. Government assistance is across the board. Okay, when Esau leads and all that shit, man. Okay, and you should go see those food banks too. Esau's lined up in that shit too. Okay, that's another thing. Them food banks. Esau's all up in them food banks, man. And you see all them old ass Edomites, hunched backs. They look like they live on the countryside, and they're all lined up in the food banks and shit, man. Okay, so it's actually kind of funny. All right, but hey, man, the Lord's revealing all things, man. You know what I'm saying? The Lord's revealing all things, so it doesn't even really matter because Esau's gonna be exposed for that, man. Okay. Okay, and these women, okay, these women are in for a rude awakening, man. Okay, because Slakia, these women are in for a rude awakening because they were dissing all these men. This is what they're so prideful about. You know what I mean? They're so prideful about this because they're like, oh, we don't need no men. This is what they talking about. They get free housing as long as they don't make a certain amount of income. This is why, you guys think that a lot of these women, they can't find jobs or whatever. Realistically, they're just getting bonuses from the government. They're getting bonus from having babies, called baby bonus. Okay, they're getting child support. They're also getting Section 8 housing or government. They call it government housing. Okay, they get some form of food stamps. I think it's in the range of like 300 to 500. I'm not sure what you qualify for. I think it's based on income. Okay, as long as you make, I believe, under 30,000 a year. Could be lower. I'm pretty sure it depends on the state. But that's why a lot of these women are prideful, man. I got my own shit. Da, 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 da. This is what they talking about. This is the shit they talking about, man. Okay, there's Section 8 housing, government housing, food stamps, baby bonuses. That's why they just keep. And you guys are sitting there like, oh, why should keep popping on kids? Why should keep popping on kids? This is why, guys. Right in front of you. Okay? Look, see? This is how it works. Eligible participants receive a voucher from a local public housing agency, PHA. You find your own rental unit, apartment house, townhouse, etc. that meets the program standards. You typically pay about 30% of your adjusted household income towards rent and utilities, man. Okay, and it keeps you in a cycle. Okay, just like the guy said in TikTok, he's like, well, I don't really agree with it, but this keeps you in a cycle because even if you're making a certain amount of money, you become ineligible for this. Okay, that's why a lot of these women, you guys are sitting there like, why don't they just get a job? Why don't they level up? Because hey, man, this shit creates comfort, guys. Okay? Let me read this. Micah chapter 7 verse 10, it says, "Then she that is my enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her." Okay? And if a lot of these, I'm pretty sure a lot of these men are starting to, pretty much figure out the bullshit, because we've been ever since what is it called? Section 8, I believe Section 8 became available to Jake in particular. But they were saying that Esau would go around and say, "Hey, is there a man in the house?" You guys already know this, man. This is history. Is there a man in the house? If not, you can get free housing as long as there's no man in the house. And a lot of the men, Jake men, got kicked out of the house, guys. All right, so this is just history repeating itself, but it's gonna come back to backfire you women, because this is what you guys been boastful and prideful for. Okay, because you got your own crib, apartment, da da da. The whole time it's just government assistance, guys. And you sitting there like, oh, how come she can't afford food and all that? They get the food stamps. Okay, we touching upon you women right now, man. We're not talking about Esau. All right, they get the the, what is it called, the food stamps. Okay, and they spend it all on junk. $500 worth of chips, cereal, just a whole bunch of bullshit, guys. Okay, because what a food stamp is basically a voucher. It's a tax-free voucher from the government. That's all it is. Okay, that's all it is, man. All these things are vouchers from the government. They're like cuts, tax-free, guys. Okay, and guess who pays for it? The people. Okay, this is where your tax dollars go to. All right. It says, "Shame shall cover her. What shall said unto me? Where is the Lord thy power? Mine eyes have beheld her, and now shall she be trodden down as a mire in the streets," which is getting ready to happen. Okay, all right, which is getting ready to happen. Okay, this is why violence is at an all-time high. Okay, and it's gonna be at an all-time high for you women. Okay, for that very reason. Okay.
People didn't pay rent where we grew up at. If you had a job. So it says Section 8 refers to House Choice Voucher, which is the HCV program, a federal rental assistance initiative in the United States, and it's commonly called Section 8 because it originates from Section 8 of the Housing Act of 1937, but has amended over time, particularly by the Housing and Community Development Act of 1974. And post-civil rights is when a lot of these acts went into place. Like you had the Social Security Act of I think it was like 1960. I don't know, you had I think it was 1974 if I'm not mistaken, but you had these different acts, the Social Security Act, the Housing Act, all this other stuff that Esau has attacked it in order to attack our people and keep the man out of the house. Now he's coming back to collect, man, all right, because this has spelled detriment to the Israelite families. To those of us that, grew up without fathers and stuff like that, a lot of it goes back to this woman making contractual agreements with the serpent, man, and that's what Eve do. But now we're seeing these things come to an end, or talks about it coming to an end, and there's going to be protests, man, if there isn't already, all right? So it says purpose, it helps very low-income families, and Esau is the reason why he created low-income families, man. Because Esau has cut off the blessing of the fathers, because your possession and your inheritance is through your father, but instead, he built this system on the matriarchal, which when you go into matriarch, it goes into the leading of the women, or the motherhood, so to speak.
Yeah, man. The matriarch, all right, which is the worshiping of a woman, which we already said that's in the black community. All right, pretty much all these Jake communities, if you're really being honest. All right, all you Jakes live in a matriarchy, man. The woman rule over you from the time you're a little boy until you're fucking even older, man. Okay, a lot of these, I'm just gonna call it like it is. A lot of these niggas, these niggards. Okay, that's why they're so quick to defend women, because they basically been programmed to do that. Okay, no shame to you women out there that do what you need to do, man. But if the shoe fits, wear it, man. Okay. All right. A lot of you women, man, you're gonna feel that squeeze, man, and particularly you too, because this is partially your kingdom too. Okay. Yeah, Esau used the woman to destroy us and all that shit, but a lot of these women get away with a lot because they can. It don't even matter if she's a Jake, a Edomite, they all get away with it, man. Okay, it doesn't even fucking matter. All right, this kingdom is a matriarch, man. It's just like Rome. Rome did the same shit. you know, statues of women, putting women in positions of power, okay, pedestalizing them, purposely putting them in positions of patriarchal power, okay. That's all it is, man. The matriarch, or the Israelites that we call so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans today, man, they live in a matriarch, and that's why they are the way they are. That's why they're weak, they're docile, okay. That's why they're so overly emotional, because look who they mirror. They mirror their woman, man. Okay, emotional, violent, erratic, chaotic. You know. All right.
That they may possess the remnant of Edom and of all the heathen, the lands, and that's spoken about in Obadiah, the last couple of verses.
This is Isaiah chapter 31 and verse 1. It says, "Woe unto them that go down to Egypt for help, and stay on horses, trust in chariots because they are many, and in the horsemen because they are very strong. But they look unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord." Exactly. Okay? And this is why this shit's gonna blow up in a lot of, not even just Jake's face, but these heathens' faces. Alright? We've been telling you guys this for years. And that's why a lot of them are starting to realize, hey man, this place is not even worth the business no more. Okay, it's not even worth having a job here. That's why a lot of people are actually trying to strive for abroad work. You know what I mean? They get their seals, or what is it called? Their certifications, and or they get their college degrees here, and then they leave. They get going, man. They go to Europe. They go to like those small countries like Spain, Portugal. You know what I'm saying? They go make a little killing over there. Okay? Because this place, we keep trying to tell you guys, man, this place is going to implode on itself, man. It's not sustainable. Okay? All these people are on assistance. There's too much fraud. And then I already went into the immigrant situation where a lot of these, not even just Northern Kingdom, man. It's not even just that's how they try to fuck up your head. Okay? While these other nations fly under the radar. Okay? Like Esau got a whole bunch of Moabites, Ammonites, and even them Edomite Europeans, like Ukrainians and shit. They're coming over here in floods, man. Okay, and they're doing the same shit that these so-called Northern Kingdom are doing, getting tax-free credit cards. Okay, all right, and really, what Esau wants to do, he wants to replace Esau wants to replace even his own people, man, because this ship is sinking. He's trying to sustain it. You know what I'm saying? He needs slaves. He needs workers. He needs people to still buy cars and go on car payments. He needs people to buy houses. Okay? He needs people to open businesses. Okay? Because that's what makes the economy, guys. So that's why Esau's replacing you. Okay? In Canada, Australia, the UK, you have America. Okay? He needs them. Okay, because the people that are already here, they already see the bullshit. They're like, "Oh, yo, bro, we can't take on no car payment. It's gonna fuck us up. We're trying to live. We're trying to survive." The people that's already here already know what's popping. Okay, it's the foreigners that come over here from whatever, and they'll work for whatever penny they can because they're already working for 20 cents back home. So they coming over here and they're gonna work for this shit. They gonna go on these shits too. They're gonna get better than this. Actually, my fault, because they're gonna live in those hotels. That was a whole outrage last year. Okay, how people are coming over here, living in hotels. They're getting up to $2,000 interest-free credit cards and shit. Okay, I think they're getting ride programs like Uber, free Ubers, and all that, man. Free schooling yo, man, it was going crazy last year. They were going crazy, tearing this shit up.
Yeah, patriarch, which goes into the father's paternal lineage, establishing an order on the earth to the woman. You know, and that's first started. That was a concept that was done in Rome. All right, by what was it? I forgot what was his name? Herod, which I believe he married like a Nebuchadnezzar woman. She was an Israelite. You know, but they dictated their lineage off the line of their mothers and not their fathers. And I even believe that may be in the Talmud, the Babylonian Talmud, if I'm not mistaken. But the elites, they believe in matriarchal lineage because they are doing things controversial to the Bible. You know, that's why they ask you what's your mother's maiden name, which proves that this is a wicked kingdom. You know, like if you call in your bank and you ask them, you I want to check my account balance, or I want to apply for a extended line of credit. They're going to ask you to verify your information, and they're going to ask you what is the maiden name of your mother, not your father, if your brothers ever witnessed that, you know. But it says it helps very low-income families, elderly individuals, people with disabilities, veterans, because really that's what it was for, people that was disabled and veterans, man. But, people didn't rob the system, man. They took advantage of it, man. Especially being a black woman, because she's the one that's pretty much publicized. She's the one that's publicized the most as to using these government assistance programs, when in fact it's really the Edomites that this was created for, and it was really the Edomites that benefits off this the most. They may show you shows like Good Times and stuff like that, PJs, when Jake was living in projects and ghettos, but see, Esau put Jake there, because prior to the civil rights movement, Jake was pretty much well off, man. We lived in separate societies from Esau. We had our own businesses, we had our own livelihoods, we had our own trades and schools and shit, banks, but what happened was that Esau concocted the civil rights movement because, Jake risked getting attacked and lynched and murdered, through these particular revolts and stuff when Esau started rolling on Jake to strip us of generational wealth, then he's...
Yeah, man. He cometh not but to steal, to kill, and to destroy, man. This place is done, man. You know what I'm saying? But Jake can hardly even get a fucking loan for a business. You know what I'm saying? But then you got Amalek. He go down to the bank. He get a loan just like that. Okay? Not because it's just good credit, because he's Amalek, man. You know what I'm saying? The Amalekites have programs for them, for their people, where you can just roll up and just get those types of things. They have those benefits. Tax-free too. Interest-free, man. Okay, this is what we're trying to tell you, because these programs originally made for Esau, man. Okay, not even Jake veterans are getting the thing. My brother said he referenced that veterans and these Edomites that were coming over here. Not even Jake, because Jake was in the wars too, man. Jake was in World War I and II. A lot of Jakes were in those. Okay, but not even they got a benefit out of it. You know what I mean? This is Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 2. It says, "The walk down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh." Okay? So you guys are trying to strengthen. That's why these people still think voting matters and shit. They think the president's going to save them. They think all these things, man. You guys are still under the facade. You guys are still under the drunkenness that Babylon still puts out, man. Esau be giving off free shots. He's like, here, drink this, drink this, drink this. And you guys take up everything. You guys drink up everything. That's why you guys are drunk. You believe every doctrine and every imagination this devil says, man. And that's why we said a lot of y'all just going to take the chip too, man. That's really what it's going to come down to. Because Esau's going to be running the same shit. Alright? Yeah, if you take a chip, you'll get $10,000 credit free, and we'll put you in housing. Out there's pretty dangerous. That's how you're gonna come with that shit, man. They gonna eat it up too. Y'all gonna eat it up. You love that type of shit. You gonna eat it up, man. Alright? It says, and trust in the shadow, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Yeah, you guys trust in the foundation of this place, man. Place never made to be sustainable. Esau made this place and developed it. The first founding fathers, those Masonic Satanist Edomites, okay? When they founded this place and made it, they made it so that it could collapse one day, okay? This place is a failsafe, so if Esau didn't like it, he could just reset it at any point, and that's exactly what he's doing. That's exactly what he's doing, man. Alright? That's pretty much it, man. That's pretty much the point, man. These luxuries is getting ready to end, man. Alright? There's gonna be a lot more job cuts. There's gonna be a lot more people homeless. And it already is. I'm gonna see if I can make another video on how much people are living in their car, man. That's what I've been seeing a lot since the past 2 years. There's a lot of people that are trying to invest in tiny homes. Not only tiny homes, but what is it called? Not only tiny homes, but living in their cars, trying to save up money to buy RVs, tiny homes, shacks, renting out property. They just put their stuff there, put their little crib there, and live there, man. Live below their means. All right, this place is so over, man. Call halal Yahawashi. Shine. Until next time, I'm gonna say shalom.